Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Jason Mo Reviews here again. Coming at you today with my Queens Get the Money recap of Remy Ma's first card happened this past Sunday. Before we get into breaking down the battles, I'm going to touch up on some things that I know that have already been talked about in the community. Some basic logistics about the event. 4-battle event, and it lasted 7 hours. Started late. It was pushed back 2 hours for the pre-show. And then there was even more of a delay after that. The intermissions between battles were about an hour long. So in terms of actual time to get the event done, very stretched out. Something that usually you really would expect from someone's first event. I don't expect this to be a big thing going forward for Remy. Another thing that I think that definitely needs to be worked on is the audio and the cameras. There was cut audio between bars. I think they were trying to kind of quiet out crowd reaction, balance both, and they were doing some weird stuff with the audio, as well as the camera angles, very panned out, very Total Slaughter-ish in the way that it was shot. I'm not going to give Remy too hard of a time, though, or the card in general, because realistically, it's not easy to throw a battle rap event. When there's so many big names on this card, so many mega matchups, I think a lot of people just expect it to how could it not go smoothly? And there's a lot of things that go into a battle rap event. So obviously there were some issues logistically, maybe some of the things they did in terms of packaging the product. But in terms of quality of battle, I think the logistics kind of overshadow that. The card was pretty solid. I'd say it's a 6, 7 out of 10 card. Nothing fantastic. There was some sticking out performances. There were some weaker performances. Pretty solid, just regular battle rap card. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to cover. In between the commentary, I know not to get on them too much, but we know before E-Heart and Misfit took up intermission duties, we had a couple people on there that might not know what they were talking about battle rap wise. So I know we got a lot of jokes off at the expense of those few people those ladies that were running the intermission booth for a little bit and running commentary. But overall, I think that it's just learning experience for the first event. I think these little things are going to get better as Remy goes on, but I think the quality of battles were pretty decent. So let's break down some battles and go over the Queens Get the Money event. So into this first battle, Yoshi G versus Prestavia. A lot of people were excited. Best promo battle on the card, in my personal opinion, obviously dating back to the Midnight Madness, and it was supposed to happen in that domain, Surf, Jackboy, and Bill Collector's little side project. Yoshi G's first round, I personally am not a fan of. In a battle where the crowd played a factor, I believe that Yoshi was slept on through the battle. It's probably what you're going to hear the most, especially pertaining to her second round. But I believe her first round it lacks quality. The delivery was lacked through the battle. I think that's the common critique that you're going to see for Yoshi, is that people will have her losing but say the material was close, but say that the delivery was the only difference. I do believe the delivery was the biggest difference between the two of them, Prestavia and Yoshi G. But in Yoshi's first round, not too many notes here. The bars that stuck out, obviously, were the thought bars. You know, the crowd gave her little pops for that, talking about bouncing on rap star dick with the scenic view, and some lining up Prestavia's eyebrows. She had an eyebrow bar in there that hit pretty decent. She had Styles' P bar, and something Yoshi did a lot this battle, which she did in every round, which I cannot stand, is particularly with this Styles' P bar. It would start out with just a regular ender, Styles P, but she'd bring it back to have like 4 meanings, but she'd say all 4 meanings. So Styles P, or no, then I'm styling P, and you do it 4 times, and you completely drag out your momentum in the bar. I think JC used to have a horrible issue with this early. Maybe if you look at battles like JC versus Rock, JC versus Young Hill, you see for him, or at least back then, that style of writing wasn't even working. So in 2022, it's definitely not going to go over well. And on top of that, in a crowd that doesn't seem to really be a full-on battle rap crowd, definitely doesn't help. So even though the crowd didn't react, I take points off. I think that over-explaining of the wordplay can really take momentum away from your round. Something about little ass, I need a sink, funny bars. But Yoshi's first, really from a quality standpoint, material-wise, I didn't think it was that great. She had a line, I'll put cheese on her head like a Packers fan. So just an overall miss of a first round from Yoshi G as compared to Prestavia's first. Yoshi did something about Prestavia stabbing someone. The rebuttal is, I stabbed the man. Crazy. You invited the wrong god in, talking about how Yoshi wanted to sleep with B-Dot, so you invited the wrong god in. clip longer than your father's trip to the store to get milk. And that was cool. It got a big reaction in the building, but it was a disrespectful bar. She had an oil scheme in there, which was dope. Dragged the Drake like Soldier Boy. Drake! That was dope. I said God is good, but I never said I was. That was a haymaker. And just talking about there was something about rebuttal the system to get your kids back. So then it got disrespectful. But yeah, Prestavia really performance-wise, content-wise, it's pretty much a wash in the first. So yeah, I have Prestavia 1-0 clear going into the second round. And as we get into the second round, Yoshi has a much, much better second round. She's working through the crowd. She's getting into her chaotic, kind of crazy bitch performance that a lot of people love Yoshi for. She had a Michelet bar that hit well. A Busta Grape, something about cellar, like wine cellars. That bar was dope. She had a pregnancy scheme in there that ended something about a fupa fix. There was a whole about 4 or 5 components to it, but that was dope. And none of this got haymaker reaction. But a lot of these are really strong jab bars. I personally don't have Yoshi marked down for any specific crazy bars, but there was just consistent good bars back to back to back for pretty much the entirety of her second round. You add that with the delivery, and truthfully, even though the room won't say it, I actually liked Yoshi's second a lot. Prestavia's second was a bit of a drop off. She starts out with this kangaroo rebuttal, talking about the fupa, something in the front. It was cool. Get a check for the right plate, like the Uber app, dope. She angled a lot this round about Yoshi on the island. She had a lot of jokes about Yoshi and Verb scissoring, calling Verb gay and all types of stuff. And my personal favorite bar from Prestavia in the second round, talking about how they're going to stitch her up and make the stomach doctor's going to stitch you up and have you looking like a centipede. I like that. I like that a lot. She also had a bar actually about bending the spoon like lunch rule games, and that hit crazy in the building. I thought it was a cool bar. But it's a debatable round. I think opposed to the first, this angle bag kind of getting at Verb a lot maybe hurt Prestavia a little bit as the round went on. It's a debatable round. I still think Prestavia performed better, but Yoshi, fought back. And even though there was no definitive, humongous bars I can take away, I think that from beginning to end, Yoshi consistently was punching at a pretty consistent, 6 to 7 level, while Prestavia's round gives you a little bit of this. So personally, I'm going to edge Yoshi the second round. So I had it 1-1 going into the third. And flat out, I just believe we got another kind of weak round from Yoshi G. She had a knee P bar, the NP bar. That was dope. That hit crazy. Clothesliner bar, that was dope. Lyrical workout. She went through all these. It was like a scheme going through all these different workouts. It was okay. She had a Kurt Cobain bar, something about Sue Surf killing self. Kurt Cobain. We've heard Kurt Cobain bars before. She was kind of acting like the crowd was just so asleep on it. It was cool, but we've heard it. And then there was a Kirk Franklin stomp bar that got reaction, which was kind of. I was surprised that was the bar to get reaction to all of them, but it was a cool bar. But the performance went down again. Before this round started, Yoshi had went back during Prestavia's second, and it looked like someone told her something, and she had calmed her performance. I don't know what that was about. I don't know if it was Remy, camera, what it was, something about the mic maybe. There was mic issues all throughout the battle. But yeah, Prestavia comes out, not the craziest third, but just a better third, performed better. Talk about how Yoshi's shy, but Yoshi's known how to breaking out of its shell, referring to Mario Yoshi. Pussy So Public, I bought shares. And then probably the stickout bar in this particular round is you don't Mario or Smash Brothers. It was a Mario Smash Brothers. She said it a lot better than I did, but landed pretty crazy. Some Mario bars there, flipping Yoshi's whole name and then being Yoshi, the green thing in Mario. So overall, Prestavia 2-1 clear. You could debate the 30, but I have Prestavia in the first and third, and I gave Yoshi the second. Not a bad performance for Yoshi, but a little under par. And clear win for Prestavia. And on to the next battle. Official versus Keishi J. Cool battle. Pretty good back and forth. Actually, one of the better back and forth battles on the card. Yeah, starting out here was in Casey's first. Casey was hurt, some type of leg injury that she must have sustained close to the event. So Casey wasn't able to perform probably to the ability of what she wanted, and it definitely, I think, might be the difference in this battle. She starts out, she definitely had some mic issues. She has, in the first, there was a ghost power scheme. And then she ends, it's a pretty light round, and she actually ends her round with her best battle. It was a Matt Barnes getting her hands on Fisher. We all know Official's name is Fisher, last name is Fisher. So that was a really dope bar, but pretty light round, and it opened the door for Official to come through in the first and take it pretty cleanly. She had a plain Jane bar talking about the watch, fuck up a happy home like Ryda, referring to the Mike P situation. She had a bar talking to Fat Joe. Fat Joe was in the crowd talking about something you didn't have to tear a squad up. Obviously, Casey and Official are both Bardashians. Terror Squad, Fat Joe, dope bar. Snoop Dogg, Murder is the Case They Gave Me. That was really dope. And then to end it off, she had a pulling a Remy bar that hit pretty crazy in the building too. So Official outperformed, whether that's fair or not due to Casey's injury, but I also believe that material-wise, she was better than Casey in the first. You get into the second round, Casey had something about the boot and being hurt because she's a stand-up bitch rebuttal. That hit. I think Casey was a little slept on this battle, similar to how Yoshi was slept on the first battle. But she got love. She fought through it. I don't think Casey, even though she sucked her teeth to the crowd, here and there, I think that she kept her composure pretty well for most of the battle. And then she had you're my friend, but you're my friend, so I'll stab you in the front. I'll never stab you in the back. That was dope too. Official second was pretty light, some back and forth punching. I didn't have too much to take away from it. I actually ended up edging Casey the second. I didn't think it was a crazy round, but Casey stood out a little bit more to me. Even with the limits in her performance, I think she fought back well. So I had it 1-1 going into the third, which feels like we hear that every battle. And then I actually had Official taking the third. I had the second as debatable, by the way, even though I did have Casey. And then in the third, more of the same. It wasn't too crazy of a battle. Don't have too many notes here, but Casey had a pretty solid third. Once again, a lot of jabbing, used to what we're used to with Casey. Nothing crazy over the top, writing at a consistent level with a little bit of awkward delivery. Kind of the story when it comes to her, and it opens the door for an Official who's unique and confident in her delivery to take these rounds. The third that I have knocked down, Official had arms everywhere, like a TikTok haymaker, so that hit. And she had a couple other name flips in there. We know how Official gets down, but similar to what I thought was going to happen in the prediction, I just think that Official's a little more seasoned. I think her style is hers while Casey's still finding herself. And just over the long haul of 3 rounds, you see Casey maybe running out of gas a little. And Official is just one of the best to ever do this. So when she's able to land even 1 or 2 definitive haymakers in the third, it just outpowers a round that comes off as full of jabs. So, sadly with Casey being hurt, I think if she wasn't, this might even be battle of the night. But it was a pretty dope debatable battle. I had Official 2-1, possible 3-0, but I gave Casey the second, gave Official the first and third. Pretty dope back and forth and a good look for the Bardashians. So, yeah, another decent battle, and on to the next battle. QB versus 40 bars. Originally, we all thought was probably going to be the main event of the night. Ended up coming as I'm not going to say the warm-up for the main event, but it was the second to last battle that happened that night. There shouldn't be too much that I have to go over here. This was a body. This was a murder. 40 bars, absolutely 3-0, destroyed QB. 40 had a pretty light first. She had a margarita, Rem salty, referring to Remy Ma. Something about her being salty, about her killing QB. That was dope. She had a dumb out and hit your IQ. That was pretty cool. And then she had this get this pipe on cam like Nelly. But it hit a little bit in the building. But it was a pretty cool round from 40. Material was, standard. I didn't think the performance is that crazy. Obviously, 40 bars being pen heavy in this type of crowd. She definitely got slept on a little bit. I don't even want to go over the shit that QB was talking about. QB was talking about some pedophile stuff and a bunch of, in the first, I think we have a couple bars here about with the way the Czech was looking for this battle. Something about Iron Man, but the way the Czech looked for this battle, Tony Stark is invested. She says something about smelling the AIDS on her. QB with the disrespect. is cool. That's obviously what she's known for, but going forward in this battle, she was just saying anything. There was no real rhyming, no attack, just disgusting things about, rape and children and, all that. So 41-0 in a rather light first round from both. Then the second, 40 kind of loses her fucking mind. She had something about diamond studded QB, black diamond, something about diamond studded. I forgot what I was referring to, but it was another angle about QB being straight at one point and then turning over to gay. That she, like Remy Prisons visits, this bitch gets a pap every week. that might have been bar of the event. Not only did it hit crazy, it is crazy. QB even enjoyed it. Absolute just room shaker. And she also had some more Remy flips in there. She had a diamond tester, Sirius Jones flip, referring to Sirius versus Swamp with the diamond tester. QB second is abomination. I have nothing to tell you from QB second. So 40 is possibly round of the night. QB has a disgusting nothingness. Pure 0 out of 10. I mean, and I'm not going to say that often. I'm not going to be dramatic on this channel, give a bunch of hot takes and say this was ass. You're not going to see that often. So when I'm telling you someone was a 0 out of 10, they were really that fucking bad. QB was terrible. That was an abomination. So 2-0-40, you get in the third. 40 has another solid third. Very disrespectful. Why was Diamond in the station talking about your brother killed himself by an accident? He's an idiot. Then something about, she told her, yeah, you could bring that line back, but bring your brother back. It was a bunch of awful. QB's third gets into it too about talking about 40's dead. It got weird. I don't like that in battle rap. QB opens the door for that, so obviously you're going to have people cheering when 40's able to retort because it's weird. And we want to see that out of there. But yeah, this whole dead relative off, not fire, not dope. But 40's third was pretty good, and then her second was great. First pretty light. QB was an abomination. So 3-0-40, body of the night, dope performance for 40, and on to the main event. And to wrap it all up, the main event of the night, Miss Hustle versus Couture. Excuse me. Decent battle, solid battle. Hustle starts out. She has a wild and out Charlie clips angle. She goes through all the wild and out games, schemes, which we actually have heard, quite a few times before with people doing all the different, holding water and out the classroom and all that. So, that landed cool. Fit her body in a casket. Let's see if Couture is a contortionist. We all know the Hustle was going to come with her performance on 100. She's acting it all out. She's got different flow patterns in there, too. It's a pretty cool first from Hustle. And then bar I also really liked from this is something, if I get to Couture, you're going to see apes behind the glass like a zoo visit, referring to, gang that she rolls with. And then ape behind the glass zoo visit. That was dope. And then Couture comes back, Couture with the more methodical, slow approach style. So she has something about she would have grounded coffee extra black. That was cool. She had a crypto bar that hit. No, we've heard a lot of crypto bars, but I'll let it go. So it was a cool little one. And then what I think really hurt Couture in the first, she had a pretty dope round, similar to what happened to 40. What happened to Casey, what happened to Yoshi. The performers obviously got more reaction in this setting and was more in-depth to the crowd, but that doesn't mean that just because you didn't get reaction, you could still be having a dope round. I think Couture's first, very similar to I spoke to on Yoshi and Casey. A lot of good jabbing in there. A lot of, nice angle work, getting at Hustle, talking about Hustle buying her body and things of that nature. But what hurt is she had a punch, something about Instagram went viral and the punch missed disgustingly. It was just a pretty bad concept that just really even fell flatter. It is a close first, though. It's a debatable first, even though it might look a little more lopsided in the building. I edged Hustle the first. I like the contortionist. I like the overperforming. I think Couture wrote well. I think they were sleeping on her a little bit, but she was very much so in one spot. So Hustle, I think, gave me a little bit more. In the second round, Hustle's got a rebuttal, talk about how you need to speak on work on my body and not speak on my body at work. That's a great, little piece of counter writing. The wrestler racist, like Hulk Hogan, the wrestler racist Hulk Hogan. That was dope. Couture's second was pretty cool too. Some more light jabbing. It was more on the lighter side. Like I said, it's kind of I'm not going to say hard to judge, but it's tough when you're not getting reaction, but you're still landing consistent jabs. You probably deserve, you feel like you deserve at least a little love as you go, and you're just getting little oohs and ahs. I think Hustle got the second pretty clear. And then as the third goes on, they both had weird thirds. Hustle had this angle where she brought out like a fake private investigator to say that Couture had gotten chlamydia, and she couldn't pay her rent because Eclipse's gambling, and it felt pretty flat. It was weird. I think the second half of Hustle's third was pretty cool when she got back to punching, but she had lost a lot of people already with the start with that angle. And the Couture, I don't think had a crazy third either. There was some more of the same angles in there. Talk about body of work, talk about Hustle's kids. I edged Couture the third. Not too much to quote, but I just think she was a little better. While I don't think that she really did anything crazy, I think Hustle did stuff that was considered bad. So a negative compared to just the average. I edged Couture the third, but I had Hustle 2-1 in debatable. First and second clear, first debatable, and I had Couture getting the third in the debatable. Pretty decent battle. One of the other better back and forths of the night with official Casey. And yeah, pretty cool battle. And that actually is the end of this year recap. Queens get the money. Like I said, I give it a solid 6, 7 out of 10 event. Let's try not to fret too much about the logistic, guys. It's Remy's first event, and I think going forward, definitely going to get better. I had 40 as performance of the night. I did think this was better than the Res 2 card. I think everyone was maybe a little bit disappointed, thought the weekend might have more crazy battles, but thought it was a dope little weekend for battle rap, and I thought we got two, pretty solid events. You have 40 and Prestavia, the standout performances for me. I think those two really showed up and, gave the fans exactly what they wanted. I thought Yoshi was on the weaker side, like I said. We had two pretty decent back and forths with Hustle and Couture and Official and Casey, and then, QB. So, cool little event, man. Also want to mention Reed Dolls versus Ill Will happened. Was streamed this past weekend. It was a dope battle. If I don't recap it soon, definitely expect by the time it drops on YouTube, I'll be doing a full recap for it. Definitely a goodie with that one. But I think that covers everything. Queens get the money. I can't wait to see. I think Remy said she's got an early April card, maybe a March card. But I'm just really excited to see what she brings to this platform, brings to women's battle rap. Whether, we didn't like the logistics or not, it's still a great look for women's battle rap, and it's only going to get better. So, yeah, cool little event here, man. It's been J Smo's Reviews once again. And y'all have a fantastic day. Peace.